Welcome back to Tech Take. I'm Adam Housley in Los Angeles, where news and technology collide. And you know, if you watch Tech Take, that every week we try to feature the latest and greatest in military technology. Much of that technology, of course, will eventually reach it to the consumer level. And joining us is Allison Berry. She's our defense specialist and war games columnist at FoxNews.com. And Allison always seems to find the best technology out there that our men and women are using. And she joins us live from New York. Appreciate you coming on.
Thanks for having me, Adam.
All right, so tell us this news. I'm looking down now, all the different things we talked about over the course of the last couple of years. I'm looking at this right now, the Fire Scout, a helicopter that flies itself. We've heard about the drones. In fact, recently, for the first time, an unmanned plane, remote-controlled plane, basically landed on a carrier. So I'm curious to hear about the helicopter. And is this one of those little ones you see in the backyard that the neighbor flies up to be able to spy, or is this something more significant than that?
Same idea, but on a military level. Yeah, that's a great example. It is, people love to bandy around the term drone. So this is sort of like what people call a drone helicopter, and it's the latest variant of it. And just recently they had their first successful flight of the next generation of the Fire Scout, which I'm very excited about because it's not as small as one of those backyard ones, but it's not quite as big as some of the helicopters people might be familiar with. But it's very important for two reasons, Adam. Yeah, if we can show a bit of the video, that would be great so people can get an idea of what it actually looks like. It's important for two reasons, I think. One is resupply, cargo resupply, and the second is surveillance. So, Adam, if you'll let me take the first one to break it down, because I know you're going to jump in there and say cargo sounds very boring, which is I'm sure what people out there are thinking.
No, but people don't realize that a lot of our men and women overseas have been injured or killed,
exactly.
Providing cargo and providing supplies. It's actually, the supply line is where a lot of the terrorists have gone after. That's the area they go after. So if you can provide a supply line where there's no lives risked other than those that are being supplied, that's a big deal.
Precisely. You explained it better than I could. The idea here is that if you can eliminate even one convoy, you're eliminating the possibility of someone losing a life. So it's terribly important. And this helicopter can carry about 6,000 pounds, which is a significant amount of cargo. And it's very cool because it can take off and land by itself and also carry out a mission, a route by itself. So getting that precision location, dropping it off to troops, say, for example, in an austere remote forward operating base, which, as you said, you've got the dangers of the road of both the IEDs and, of course, a firefighter and attack. So very important. And, of course, as we know, helicopter crews, sadly, are also a very attractive target. So this is a great example of where you can really leverage technology, the advances that we have, say, in robotics type technology, to replace a human in a very useful, sensible way. The second one I'd love to touch on, Adam, if you'll let me, is the surveillance aspect. So just like, your backyard little helicopter that might have some video cameras attached to it if you're a kid so you can sort of see your backyard, this is at an entirely different level, and it's hugely useful because this tech can land both on a maritime, so at sea on a warship, and also in an unprepared landing zone. So I don't need to explain that to you, Adam, but for people out there, the idea there is that on a mission you might not always have time to get a landing zone set up. So this is it gives them a lot more mission flexibility and the assistance when they need it. So if we just circle back to the surveillance aspect, we're getting some great cool footage here we're taking a look at to give you a sense of just what you would see. And it provides you an eye in the sky, and a lot of endurance. So this is twice the endurance of the last variant. So that gives you about 14 hours. Right now we're looking, of course, at a ship, but you can imagine this could be used to identify a target, track the target, and then provide really important critical data on targeting the target, to a strike platform. So hugely useful stuff.
When do they, a lot of times when they're going through all these tests, they can provide some sort of timeline. I mean, when do they plan on putting something like this into actual use?
Great question, because sometimes we both like to talk about emerging tech and get the word out there to people first before anyone's really even heard about it. This is one that's a lot more advanced. So this is the latest variant of the Fire Scout, and they're expecting it to deploy next year. The current one, which is a B variant, it's been out there since 2011 doing really great stuff, used for, say, surveillance missions that we just discussed, for land warfare, but also for maritime missions. It's been used for things like anti-piracy that people would be familiar with. So it's been out there, the current variant's been out there and very popular for over 2 years. And the next one we're looking to see deployed operationally, Adam, next year, which is a very, very quick timeline to double the endurance in just a year. That's super impressive on the part of the engineers and of the team working on it. And I should add it's a joint team, U.S. Navy and Northrop Grumman, that have been working on it, as well as that ran that first test that they recently announced that they conducted.
Really quick question.
Yeah, hit me.
Can this be used for offensive purposes? Are they going to put weaponry on this thing, weapon systems?
Love that question. It's not weaponed up as far as I know right now. I think this platform is more focused on, like we said, filling that very important gap of taking the humans out of the convoys, whether it's on the ground or, the air crews delivering stuff for resupply. The focus for this platform is more that as opposed to weaponized. But of course, it's really important to have that eye in the sky to really leverage our powerful strike platform. So, this can provide the targeting data that you need for, say, a warship that can be very remotely standoff to deliver some hefty stuff on the ground if necessary.
All right, Allison Berry, defense specialist and war game columnist at FoxNews.com. You can see the article online right now. It says, War Games Fire Scout, a helicopter that flies itself. All the detailed information about it, and of course all the other technology, the cool technology we had a chance to talk about here on Tech Take over the course of the last, year and a half or so. So Allison, I appreciate you joining us from New York.
Thanks for having me, Adam. See you soon.
All right, I'm Adam Housley in Los Angeles. You're watching Tech Take.